It seems like no matter what the subject title is on a Black channel, you can count on people coming to post Black on Black crime in Chicago. It doesn't matter what the subject is. I have seen this on multiple channels. You always got the troll that want to make sure they go out of their way to mention three things to Black people: low IQ, Black on Black crime, and Chicago. Well, today I'm going to step up to the plate so that we can finally debunk these claims that we are the big problem in America, because, ladies and gentlemen, we are not. So let's go ahead and cover this. This share is going to probably be a little long, but just bear with me. Now, let's look at some numbers here. All right. Now, we know drug deaths in America are up to, well, this is the number they're giving us. 175 Americans are dying each day during this opioid plague that's hitting the country. Now, we're going to tackle 2015, and I may do 2016 in another video, but it goes up every year. Now, according to this, I highlighted it right here. In 2015, the number was 52,404 dead, which means the number increased by 22% over the year. And this is for opioid deaths in America, 2015, because that's the year we're going to look at. Now, let's look at gun violence in America. Gun violence. Now, we know gun violence is a problem, but it's not quite as big a problem as the drug deaths. So gun violence by the numbers. Now, let's go down and look at 2015. There were 93 Americans killed with guns on average per day. So on an average day, 93 Americans are killed with guns. 93 per day. And this is according to 2015 statistics, okay? And this calculation came from the CDC and National Vital Statistics Systems, okay? So that's where these numbers came for 2015. Now, let's go down a little further. Suicide is also a huge, huge problem in America. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 70% of suicides in America are white males. All right, and let me go down here because I want to show you this. And this is 2015. So now let's look. According to the suicide prevention expert, Dr. Christine Malter, white middle-aged men accounted for 70% of deaths from suicide each year. 70%. So the big bulk of suicides in America are coming from your white male, ladies and gentlemen. That's who it's coming from. So now let's go back and look at this chart. This is 2015, okay? So just so you can see, nearly 2/3, 62% of firearm deaths in America are suicides. Of the 169,395 firearm deaths in the U.S. between 2011 and 2015, 105,183, or 62%, were suicide. So when you look at this chart, the bulk of the gun deaths are people that inflicted suicide on themselves, 62%. Homicides, 34%. Legal intervention, 1%. Undetermined intent, 1%. And unintentional, 2%. All right. So now let's just look a little deeper into this. Now we know 70% of the white males are committing suicides. All right. Now let's see how many people, and this is, if you look right here, white males accounted for 7 out of 10 suicides in 2015. So each year, 44,193 Americans, which are mainly white males, die by suicide. All right, so keep that number in mind as I go through some of the rest. So we have the 52,404 deaths for drugs and 44,193 for suicides. All right, now let's get back to gun violence. Now, this is an article that came out November 8th, 2017. Gun violence in the U.S. kills more Black people in urban dwellers. All right, so these are locations where mostly Black people live. Now, let's go down to this number. Let's go down right here. Now, here's the data for urban and racial disparities. Data from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention show that 12,979 firearm homicides in 2015. 81% occurred in urban areas. Okay, so that's areas where mostly people of color lived in 2015. Now look at this number, 12,979 firearm homicides in 2015. And these are in mainly Black areas all across the US. This is the number for the entire year of 2015. Now, let's go back to the drug deaths of 2015. In 2015, the number was 52,404 dead in 2015, right here, 2015. Now, let's go back to suicides for the year of 2015, right here. This is based on 2015 numbers, 44,193. So you can clearly see the drug deaths in the US, which are mainly right now your opioids, and your heroin and your fentanyl people that are dying mainly from the drug overdoses. And from suicide, there are 44,193 people dying from suicides in the US. Now let's go back and look at urban areas where Black people live. Most of the Black people in this country live. And let's go, I'm sorry about that. Let me take a look because there's one more I want to show you. All right, urban areas, urban and racial disparity. And this is an article about US kills more Black people and urban dwellers, gun violence. So let's see how many people in these areas died again in 2015. 12,979 died in these urban areas where there was a high number of Black people living in this country. And this is countrywide. Countrywide, ladies and gentlemen. That's the number for the year, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So if you don't like what I'm saying, all you need to do is go out to their website and go bitch to them. But this is the numbers they are reporting for areas in urban and Black areas in this country, the number of homicide, which is nowhere near the suicide or the number for drug deaths. Now let's look at Chicago, because Chicago just keeps coming up over and over and over. Now let's see how many shootings and murders took place in the year of 2015 according to Time magazine. Now let's go down and take a look at these numbers. Okay, so here's the numbers for Chicago for 2015. The year-end crime statistics show there were 468 murders in Chicago in 2015, compared with 416 the year before, and that's 2014, a 12.5% increase, as well as 2,900 shootings, 13% more than the year prior, and up 29% since 2013. So for the entire year of 2015, 468 murders happened in Chicago in 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just point something out to you. Whenever somebody keep overusing a cliche, I can tell you it's 100% false. It is based on feel good and not fact. See, it makes these people feel good if they try to believe that Black people are killing other Black people and the number is through the roof. It makes them feel good that people in Chicago are just murdering each other up. It's feel good stuff. It has nothing to do with facts. And see, that's what these people are fueled on. They are really the ones with the low self-esteem. Just understand that. If their self-esteem was high, they wouldn't even be concerned about Black people at all. The fact that they got to get up out of their bed, come to Black channels and worry about what you're saying, what you're doing, what you think, what you feel, that's nothing but low self-esteem. That's all that is. And see, one thing the internet has done, it has taken away a lot of their ability to control Black people. See, the worst case scenario they can do online is take your channel down. But see, most Black people out here have smartened up and have multiple channels up. So when they take it down, we don't miss a beat. We just go on to that next channel and we just keep it moving. And that's what's disturbing them the most. See, that's what they want to do. They want to come to your channel and try to shame you and make you believe all of the falsehoods, like Chicago and Black on Black crime being the most horrific thing happening in America. And it's as simple as going out to a search engine and looking this stuff up yourself. I knew long before I put this video out, they were full of shit. But it has been said so much in the comments on my channel. You know, a lot of these comments you do not see because they are withheld, that I decided to do this video so you can see with your own two eyes what the real numbers are, ladies and gentlemen. And no, Black people are not America's biggest problem. Black people are not causing the biggest problems in America. Black on Black crime is not the biggest horrific thing happen in America. And Chicago, as you can clearly see, is not the worst thing happening in America. If you continue to listen to their media and listen to them, you will believe that. But always go by your instinct to look things up. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, whenever they quote something to you, when you go out to research it, it's going to be incorrect 100% of the time. So I have showed you, and I will leave the source to all of the material that I used in the description box. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. And if you can make a donation to my channel, please do. And also, don't forget to hit on that notification bell. Peace, family.